This is day 1324 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, and they are learning the schus for the Hatzlacha of Am Yisrael in our war against our enemies, Yimach Shema. Today we're doing your idea, Simon Rishalef, of course. See, Ein Hey to pay base. Ein Hey. Wir schon glauben schon, but the Hein MS, the Kiva Mahanigam Shiba Karka. It's true that making a hole in the keli works to make it a legitimate mikveh when it's in the ground. Come when we stom haneka v'acharkach ein latil lead bobo. Unless the close all afterwards, we can't allow it to title. That's lumbers here. It's already required a chalei shame keli when it was severed from the ground. By the achibur or it's about shame keli, and by connecting to the ground, it didn't lose its shame keli. Kidin chako self kavo. Like where you first carved out and then embedded it. But through the hole, it lost the chalei shame kli. So then it's closed up again. It becomes a kli again, and this is from Rabbi Akiva Eiger. I don't remember recording Rabbi Akiva Eiger before. But if it got the hole before it was connected to the ground, the Yeshomar came which got me cut in this path in Meno Shen Keli. We can say that since it's already Bato Shen Keli before it was connected to the ground. Also the connection negates from the ground. After the even though you closed afterwards, it doesn't have a shame kli. The hava kekabo sof chako. It's like embedded first and then carved it out. In practice, the Rabbi Akiva Eiger evidently also did not allow that, even that scenario. And bracket says here, I shamza komne kusha shalem bisulo baso sa vambes gambo cover so chakako post musla receive some gimel receive some down mutar. Okay, I'm not going to go back and check now, but he says that this, according to what he says, see some dollar, this would be permissible. That's the end of the brackets. So that's why if you close it up with something which makes it clear again, such as with the plaster and gypsum. And those in the previous allowed, even this is the scenario. But now the came to a clean manner when the cable, since it lost the ratio in Keli when it was punctured. Being connected to the ground, when you close the hole, it's like closing a hole in a building, not making a keli again. So and this is machlekes and with the Akiva Eiger and this sieve, as we explained. At least but all that is just plaster and gypsum. At least I'm seeing with throws, but to use plaster and pebbles, it's okay according to everybody, even according to Rabbi Akiva Eiger. I above. You should know that partially bars of pshita doser to close the hole with a spigot. What's the word for it? Faucet is obviously also makes it a keli again. Right? It's like a huge beer barrel. So they have a place and they want to put a barrel in the mikveh which confers in order to make a hole in it the size of the shvafer node. Even still, if they close it up with a faucet, they pass it again. Unless they dig it into the ground, or you they build around it, and pierce it, and make another puncture, and then they close that with a spigot. That's only according to what we learned yesterday. According to Rabbi Akiva Eiger, even in that case, you should not play on it, as we explained. I was shading for the karka, but if it's not dug into the ground, shito also. It's obviously also shenasi because it becomes a complete, a total keli. B'shas tefillah b'sirim bars of the time that she goes to the mikvah, they take off the spigot. Near that here would seem to be permitted. Came b'shas tefillah the kuva kedin, since it's since at the time she's toiling, it is properly punctured. We're talking about cases where the surrounded by water and it's connected by a shofar sanod at that time. But some were even dubious about this. So they came and because they hold that since you have in mind to close it, the same keli means that even if it's not closed. So Yehuda, Chai Gavna, the Vorbar Chaim Simchuf Natesiv Haley in the end of Tilos Yadayim. As the halacha stated by Tilos Yadayim with the keli which you're going to use to wash. Ayin Zayin. Avine Avshi Sigo Alav, but even though people arguing that in this respect, can't come any cause because when there's an issue of courage involved, neither you should not get involved in the machlekas. We call it, let's say, Slidei Kodesh, when you can be Yotzi every opinion. And it comes to us Nekev Gadol, first to make a large hole, after Rimon, even the size of a pomegranate, which is the largest hole necessary. The cells will be seen, so then close it with plaster and pebbles. The client's bottom because already lost the name of Kaylee. So it's own neck, and then you can make another hole, so it'll open the and plug it with a spigot. In so you might if you need that in order to get water in or out. Let's see all the opinions. That's the base of the bracket says here, it's the base for I'm named one of the Pesach Shuvah. If it's not sure if you're allowed to open the spigot and close it. I shall lay down in my comment. I'm not sure he's saying, oh, my nekev, he's bought the third scale. He already bought it from the negator from third scale with the other hole, even if you close this hole. Lying on a who maybe it's something else. That was talking about Amy, the base of Frying Lion. You know how to have access to a base of Frying. Ayches, V'da, you should know the nekev if you have all the bottom of the vessel. Because first a note, the size of the diameter of the two fingers. Mani Yevachol Kelim works like orkin. I feel it'll be clean matchos. Even metal kelim. Could go to him in a chavish mateches by mikvah, such as when you put a metal barrel in the mikvah. Moil on the kiva, the puncture works. Shagam clean matchos because also by metal moil on the kiva v'al mitar scaly. Puncture is effective in negating its status as a keli. Kinam bekalim perikadal, Ram perikadal bekalim. Bezel Shalom, Ram writes, how much he shall be matchos, how much does that to break in a metal keli? Shlei kabel tuma should be not kabel tuma. All you tell me does or become tahor from its tuma. I call the fee mashu chulei. Everything is relative. The case that also klisha mateches. If you have a metal vessel, Shanisha which broke by Harei, you call it malos bone. You use it, however, in order to fill up water with. Harei kli shoya akal. It's still a keli like it was. I'm not sure it means that last part of it. But anyway, if you can't fulfill with it, batal to her scaly. So lose a shenkeli. Pshita shemin hagvu b'shlav derech nekish v'esnos. Obviously, if you puncture it on the bottom, hole the size v'esnos anyway the malos, but you can't fill it up anymore. When you got steam up, but see the terms of closing up with plaster and pebbles. Derbinyan because derbinyan as you know built. Kel chaver karka no sivo so to sink it into the ground or to build around it. Karka thing was to start kelim. Now, it's also like other kelim. Bein shum time should be clay matchos ishtana. Didn't say. There's no reason that clay matchos should be any different. Ain't that the issue topic? Well, it could be unclear about the volume question. You put a barrel which is punctured in a mikveh in a mayan. It's only because the depth of the spring or the mikveh, you can't put it on the bottom, on the ground of the mikveh of the mayan. So you want that its bottom should be at halfway down in the water. And they fastened the barrel with metal chains. And they fastened those chains to the walls around the spring or the mikveh. With the other ends of those chains, they seize on to the top of the walls of the barrel. Again, you table in the barrel or not. Like sukkah. It's a maimim b'davar kabel tuma. Interesting. Perhaps like you need the water to be introduced in a manner of tahara. Shloy de Dover Kabatuma. Also clean what you're titling. Perhaps stand without without the aid and assistance of something which is Kabatuma. Usfaratuma Tana Bagor, then Skach Sukkah. Baruch Hashem. You find that Svara by Sukkah. Yeshishasal Sachek Gam Al Kanish Barzo, to those who ask her to put Skach on top of metal rods that should meet with Dover Kabatuma, because you're supporting with the Dover Kabatuma. Of course, almost everybody, as far as I recall, says that it's the evidence. Okay, pay, and that's what he says in pay. Pay. The post can we don't pass their way. You're allowed, according to the letter of the law, to support the schach of Sonny's kabel tumah because the Torah of sub simon taral ayin sham. But Yerushalmi shom lehediyot achatam, and Yerushalmi explicitly says there's not a problem with my way over kabel tumah. I feel like I'm going to say shechash shalom tam zeh, even according to whether we show him was chash zeh mnei gzeir shem yol esachibo, because the gzeir might come to use it for schach. Ayin sham, see there, and the rod name of the rider. But which lo shach gzeir can move on. Place obviously this gzeir is not shayach. I'm sorry, mikveh lo shach gzeir is not can move on. Obviously, the mikveh is not relevant. He said I think there's no concern about this. I feel no more than mikveh yesh l'chol shezeh. Even to say the mikveh should be concerned about it. They made initially these cables for the purpose of holding the barrel. No problem. Any metal vessel which serves another vessel, like jewelry for animals. Now became wage per yud base. Of course, because Rama per ches became din zayin. There's a shayna. Kol tachshid yabeim of kalim. Any jewelry for animals or for vessels. Going to tabosho sim chulei, such as rings that you make, etc. Snake kalim, and for the handles of vessels. Torim bein kamatum. The Torah nam kamatum hasham. Like with sham shem tachshid adam, just the things which serve and adorn a person. To me, the Torah may come before some, as explained there. No, it says the Echam Eglosh Chasvu with the Zeh. Now the Gdolim seem to apply here. Peraf, Mneshi is Dinim Harbeba Modus Chavis and Mayim, since there are many halachas involved in putting a jug in a barrel in the water. Udina and the Kivtav is the Kivtav is the Masa, and how to puncture it and how to close it, which is biased, we shall see. Lavkli Amadina Gemira, not everybody knows the halachas. Lachena derech hapshuta. So the simple thing to do is submit the derech hapashut. So that's us coming by being a cut to make something like a small structure, and put it inside the water. That's so sweet to Shabbatim and make on that structure a platform, a floor. Of stones or levain or bricks, a few weeks or shades and crush them, even wood and beams. Make sure to make that floor in the water. In other words, you should make it inside the water, construct it inside the water, not just put it inside the water after it's constructed. Construct it inside the water. If you have to make it outside the water. They should take off the floor, I guess, in the mikveh, when they're putting this structure into the minor mikveh. Afterwards, take the floor, put the floor down, achas, one by one. Only when when the wall's already in the water, when stop seeing behind Zion, was that us shopping the kiva ain't starting to give a cloud. In this case, you don't need any puncturing. But if you do dangle with cables, metal, everything is one. Like in the chavetz, that's what I do like the previous case. Previous sif, which we suggested there. Pay base. Cost for 2 of our shulchan receive our test. Clay tamei shenasam token. We have to tummy vessel, which you put other kelim. V'hikna keli, you toivel the larger keli. Also, I'm at tefillah. The tefillah is effective for the kelim inside. Al b'shek pli akli tzar b'yoser, even though the mouth of the outer kli is very narrow. Also, a sharei b'mayim d'chaslo, the bottom line word gets in. Toshos and tefillah kli agadol sits, the tefillah works. It's amigo. So it works for a larger keli. Also, tefillah kelim is dark. It also works for the kelim, small kelim inside. Being told to we both you put it sideways and table that. Also, tefillah tefillah is not effective. Actually, a pivra chav because resonote unless the hole is as wide as the first note. Because you have to have chiburim, I guess. Not sure why it's vertical. It's not probably it's horizontal. Anyway, also Katie was tar, but that's until came maybe they put into it Tomei came in order to be toivel them. Doesn't work. Loyal salam tefillah actually a pivra chav because note. Doesn't work though. The mouth is the size which prefers a note. With the kalim masala was sacred out to toivel kalim in a basket or in a sack. The game of the Machzik Mayim says doesn't hold water. Or the same which prefers note. It's even better than a hole the size which prefers a note. How can I show no? Vein the din zesh achos klab and simon zebet tefillah snida. 2002 titling and nida. It's tefillah kalim. And the Mishlish is bar, but since we learned the Isha Nida also Bo Bekeli, so we learned that the woman is now to travel in the vessel. Zeberu, that's where it's explained. The Tfilas Kalim and Kalim, by Tfilas Kalim, it's not like that. There's a Mara, Bain Tfilas Kalim to Tmei, which means that, Lo Shayach Klal, it's talking about both traveling Kalim and Tmei, which we don't do anymore anyway. Bain Tfilas Kalim Chadoshim. Oh, so it's about specifically Kalim Tmei, not about new vessels, not traveling for new vessels. Hey, Kosuddin Zeratur Vashulchan, so that's why they wrote it here, because it's not about Tfilas Kalim Chadashim, but Tfilah of things which you came into contact with Tuma. It's more similar than Nida.